Good morning. Today I am going to discuss about the topic upper motor neuron and lower motor neuron lesion. So before going to topic, I would like to tell what is lower motor neuron. So lower motor neuron, they are the neurons which comes out of the central nervous system, and they connect to the muscle at the neuromuscular junction, and they are the final common pathway of the motor system. So I will take an example for the muscle, biceps muscle. So imagine this is biceps. Yeah, this is biceps muscle. Biceps muscle is having connections with both the lower motor neuron and upper motor neuron. We know the root value for biceps is C5, C6. C5, C6 is the root value of the biceps. And if we take the biceps muscle as an example, so biceps muscle, it has two types of fibers. One is extrafusal fiber. This is an extrafusal fiber. The biceps muscle, it has thousands of extrafusal fiber, and this extrafusal fibers, they are the contractile unit of the muscle. If we are saying a muscle is contracting, which means the extrafusal fiber is contracting. So this extrafusal fiber, it is at the end, it is having a tendon. At the end, it is having a tendon. I had drawn only one extrafusal fiber. There are thousands of extrafusal fiber in a muscle. Extrafusal fiber, and this extrafusal fiber, there is one more fiber called intrafusal fiber. So this is an intrafusal fiber. Each and every extrafusal fiber is having a connection with the intrafusal fiber. Intrafusal fiber is otherwise called as a muscle spindle, and they are the receptors. They are the receptors for the muscle fiber. So each and every intrafusal fiber, it is having connection with each and every intrafusal fiber. This is intrafusal fiber, and this is extrafusal fiber. Each and every extrafusal fiber, it is having a connection with an intrafusal fiber. So now, when we talk about the connections from the spinal cord, the extrafusal fiber, and this is anterior, this is a cross section of spinal cord. We will take this is at the level of C5 level cross section, and this is anterior horns, these are the posterior horns. So the extrafusal fiber, they are having connections with the alpha motor neuron. Alpha motor neuron, it arises from anterior horn cells, and it is connected to the extrafusal fiber at the neuromuscular junction, which releases the acetylcholine at the neuromuscular junction. Again, I will repeat, the anterior horn cells, extrafusal fiber is having connection with the alpha motor neuron. This is alpha motor neuron, and it is and what happens, this extrafusal fiber, and there is one more fiber called this intrafusal. What is the function of intrafusal fiber? Intrafusal fiber, it continuously checks the tension in the extrafusal fiber. The function of the intrafusal fiber, or the function intrafusal fiber, is otherwise called as receptor of the muscle, and they are otherwise called as the muscle spindle. Muscle spindle. So this function of this muscle spindle is to continuously check the tension in the extrafusal fiber and give information to the central nervous system. That is the function of the muscle spindle or intrafusal fiber. So I have already told, each and every extrafusal fiber is having connection with the intrafusal fiber. So from the intrafusal fiber, there is a sensory neurons. Sensory neuron arises, and it gives connections. It is connected to the posterior horn cells of the spinal cord. From the intrafusal fiber, the sensory information or the nerve endings, this sensory nerve endings, it enters into the spinal cord. So this fiber is called as 1A fiber. In sensory neurons, there are 1A and 1B. There are two types of fibers are there. So 1A fiber, it arises and it enters into this is posterior root ganglion, clear, and it enters into the posterior horn of the spinal cord. So from the posterior horn of spinal cord, some fiber it goes up to the higher centers to give higher centers or to the cerebellum, and it gives information, and it acts as a proprioception. So it gives proprioception information. So what is proprioception? Proprioception can be defined as sensory information. How will you define proprioception? It is a sensory information from the locomotor system. Proprioception is defined as the sensory information from the locomotor system. So locomotor system, it includes bone, tendon, ligaments, muscles, capsules, everything. So these are the locomotor system. So what is proprioception? Proprioception is the sensory information from the locomotor system. So this is from the receptor, the sensory information it goes. So what is the function of intrafusal fiber? It continuously checks the tension in the extrafusal fiber and reports to the higher center about the tension in the extrafusal fiber. And some other fibers, it is having direct connections with the alpha motor neuron. It is having it helps for a reflex action. So it is having direct connection with the alpha motor neuron. So there is one more neuron which arises from the anterior horn cells, and it is connected to it is having connections with intrafusal fiber. There is it's a separate neuron. This is another set of motor neuron which arises from anterior horn cells, and it is having connections with the intrafusal fiber, not extrafusal. It is having connection with intrafusal fiber. So suppose if we have imagine we are having some specialized stimulator which can stimulate only. So this neuron is called as a gamma motor neuron. Gamma motor neuron. The neuron which is having connection with extrafusal fiber is called as an alpha motor neuron. The neuron which is having connection with the intrafusal fiber is called as a gamma motor neuron. So imagine we are having a specialized stimulator which can stimulate the gamma motor neuron alone. Imagine we are having a stimulator which can stimulate only gamma motor neuron. So what will happen? So when we stimulate the gamma motor neuron, the acetylcholine is released in the intrafusal fiber. The intrafusal fiber will start contracting. It's a very small receptor, it's a very small receptor, muscle spindle is very small, and if that muscle spindle is stimulated, it is not enough to contract whole of the muscle. The muscle spindle, when we stimulate the gamma motor neuron, it will stimulate the muscle spindle, that is a receptor. So when muscle spindle is stimulated, the 1A fiber is stimulated. Clear? The action potential, it passes through the 1A fiber because sensory nerve endings is present in the intrafusal fiber. When you stimulate the gamma motor neuron, there is a stimulation of intrafusal fiber. This stimulation will lead to the stimulation of sensory nerve endings, that is 1A fiber, and this will enter into the spinal cord, and because it is having direct connections with the alpha motor neuron. Now the action potential goes through the alpha motor neuron, and the extrafusal fiber is now stimulated. When extrafusal fiber is stimulated, which is the contractile unit of the muscle, now the muscle will contract. Again I'll explain. If we stimulate the gamma motor neuron, because the muscle is very small, receptor is very small, intrafusal fiber is very small, contraction of intrafusal fiber is not enough to contract whole of the muscle. So the information goes to the 1 through 1A, and 1A is having direct connection with alpha motor neuron. Now alpha motor neuron is stimulated and the extrafusal fiber is contracted and the muscle will start contracting. So this is about the connections. And next is one more thing I would like to explain. So in the tendon. This we call it as a tendon. You know, the muscle is attached to the bone through the tendon. So this tendon, it is having a specialized organs called Golgi tendon organ. This is called as a Golgi tendon organ, GTO. So when this GTO is stimulated, so for this I would like to give an example. For example, if we go for the reflex, we normally, when we evaluate the muscle, we go for the deep tendon reflex. We evaluate the deep tendon reflex for biceps, triceps. We know biceps, the root value is C5, C6. So when we give the when we stroke the tendon of the biceps with the knee hammer, so what actually we are doing? So when we are striking the tendon of the biceps, so we are checking the okay. When we are stroking the tendon of the biceps, when we are stroking the tendon of biceps, what actually happens is there is a brisk contraction of the extrafusal fiber. When we strike the biceps muscle tendon, what happens? The extrafusal fiber will have a brisk contraction. It will have a brisk stretch. The muscle is stretched briskly. When this muscle is stretched, what will happen? The intrafusal fiber is also stretched. A brisk tapping on the tendon, biceps tendon, will have a brisk contraction on the extrafusal fiber. So this will lead to contraction of the stimulation of intrafusal fiber. When intrafusal fiber is stimulated, then 1A fiber, sensory fiber, is stimulated, and because they are having direct connections with alpha motor neuron, action potential, it comes through the alpha motor neuron, and the extrafusal fiber will contract. So that is why when we stroke the tendon of the biceps, we get a brisk jerk. That is normal jerk. There are two types of jerk. It may be increased or it may be decreased. But normally the muscle will have a normal jerk. So what is the reason of getting normal jerk when we strike the tendon of the biceps? When we strike the tendon of the biceps, so what will happen? Extrafusal fiber, there is a brief contraction or brief stretch of the, I have drawn only one extrafusal fiber, but many extrafusal fibers are connected with the tendon. When we strike the tendon, all the extrafusal fiber will have a brisk stretch. So that will lead to stimulation of all the intrafusal fibers which are connected with the extrafusal fiber. So now what will happen? This intrafusal fiber will give information and it is stimulated, and information goes through the 1A fiber, and it is having connection with alpha motor neuron, and alpha motor neuron will stimulate all the extrafusal fiber and the muscle will contract. So that is the reason why we get the reflex when we stroke the tendon of the muscle. So this normally we call it as deep tendon reflex. We call it as deep tendon reflex. Actually, deep tendon reflex is a misnomer. We should not call it as or Golgi tendon reflex. So this is not Golgi tendon reflex. This is called as a stretch reflex. We should not call deep tendon reflex is a misnomer. This should be actually called as a reflex stretch stimulus, or we should call it as a stretch reflex. Clear? This is called as a muscle stretch reflex. So now the question is, we think that when we stroke the tendon, when we stroke the tendon of the biceps, Golgi tendon is stimulated. Actually, when we stroke the tendon of the muscle, Golgi tendon organ is not stimulated. We think that Golgi tendon organ is situated in the tendon, and when we stroke the tendon, then Golgi tendon organ is stimulated. But that is false statement. When we stroke the muscle tendon, when we stroke the tendon of the muscle, actually the intrafusal fiber is stimulated, not the Golgi tendon organ. So now the question is, when the Golgi tendon organ is stimulated, when the Golgi tendon organ is stimulated. For example, I will give one small example. Suppose if we are, imagine I am holding a book in my hand. When I am holding the book in my hand, so I can feel a mild contraction in my biceps. Clear? When I am holding a book in my hand, I can feel mild tension in my biceps muscle. So what is the physiology behind this contraction of the muscle? So if I am holding the book on the hand, what will happen? Because of weight of the book, my tendon is slightly stretched. Biceps tendon is slightly stretched. So when the biceps muscle is slightly stretched, what happens? Extrafusal fiber is stretched. When extrafusal fiber is stretched, the intrafusal fiber is stimulated, because when extrafusal fiber is stretched, intrafusal fiber or the muscle spindle is stretched. So if muscle spindle is stretched, then the information, the sensory nerve endings through 1A, it gives information to the central connections, and alpha motor neuron is stimulated. When alpha motor neuron is stimulated, there is a contraction of the extrafusal fiber. So that is the reason why the muscle is having a tension when I am holding the book in my hand. Suppose if I am having more weight along with this book, for example, if I am adding one more book, if I am adding one more book in my hand, if I am adding more weight, now the tendon is more stretched. Because of more weight, the tendon is more stretched. When the tendon is more stretched, then extrafusal fiber is stretched more. When extrafusal fiber is stretched more, intrafusal fiber is also stretched more. Now the action potential increases. When the action potential increases and the action potential through the alpha motor neuron is also increased. So when alpha motor neuron is increased, now the tension in the extrafusal fiber, it increases more. So that is why when I am, in the beginning, when I am having only one book in my hand, the tension in the biceps muscle was less. When I am adding one more book, when I am adding more book, now the tension in the muscle is increased. And as I am increasing more and more book copies, what will happen? The tension in the biceps will increase more, and it depends upon the weight which I am having in my hand. But a time will come, suppose if I am having this much books, so what will happen? Now in order to maintain the integrity of the tendon, or in order to prevent the avulsion of the tendon, because of, see, if I am adding more and more weight, the extrafusal fiber will contract more. When extrafusal fiber is contracting more, then the tendon is stretched more. Tendon is stretched more. If you add more and more weight, a point will come where a tendon will get avulsed from its insertion. I think you are clear. When I am having less weight in my hand, the extrafusal fiber is having less tension. When I am adding more and more weight, what will happen? This extrafusal fiber will contract more and more. When extrafusal fiber is contracting more and more, the tension in this tendon, it increases. Tension in tendon, it increases. When tension in the tendon increases, then it will get avulsed from its insertion. So this is the point where the Golgi tendon organ is stimulated. Now this is the point when the weight is too much in the hand, and in order to maintain the integrity of the tendon with the bone, now the Golgi tendon will stimulate. Golgi tendon organ will stimulate, and this Golgi tendon organ will give information through 1B. This is called 1B sensory fibers. So this is sensory fiber. The 1A 1A sensory fiber, it takes information from muscle spindle, and 1B sensory fibers, it takes information from Golgi tendon. So what will happen when Golgi tendon organ is stimulated? The information goes through and this is posterior root ganglion, and it enters into the spinal cord, and now this fiber is having connection with alpha motor neuron through interneuron. So there is one more, there is an interneuron. This is called interneuron. So 1B fiber, it is having connection with alpha motor neuron through intermediate neuron. So what is this intermediate neuron? Intermediate neuron or the inhibitory neuron. When the intermediate neuron is stimulated, now it inhibits the alpha motor neuron. So now what will happen when Golgi tendon is stimulated through interneuron? Alpha motor neuron is now inhibited. When alpha motor neuron is now inhibited, then release of acetylcholine is stopped and the muscle will get relaxed. So this is the function of the Golgi tendon organ. So Golgi tendon, when we stroke the muscle, during evaluation, when we test the muscle or by stroking the tendon of the muscle, we are not stimulating the Golgi tendon organ, because when the Golgi tendon organ is stimulated, the muscle will get inhibited. Clear? So this is about the basic concept of the reflexor. So in upper motor and lower motor neuron lesion, we will discuss in the next class. So please subscribe my channel and like my channel so that you can view my next topic, that is upper motor and lower motor neuron lesion. Thank you.